Hi, friends. My name's Beth Birmingham. I'm part of the steering committee that conceptualized the Alliance. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the idea that you've seen and read, this notion of women serving women and members serving members. So I have long lamented in the development sector how often we see people in the organization pigeonholed specifically into their roles. And whenever expertise is needed, organizations are constantly searching outside and looking elsewhere. The phrase I continually use is we're constantly searching for the shiny new penny while we're walking on streets of gold. So I would like to challenge us to kind of get out of that mindset as we think about what this community could look like. So let's try and be about modeling something new. You've seen somewhere on our site, and I'll bring it up for you in a second, this idea of the table metaphor that we've been using for this, that we're building a new table together. And the legs of the table are the four areas that we really feel the Alliance can provide for our community of women and male allies. And the first is community and connection. The second is advocacy and research. The third is restoration. And the last one is equipping. And so I wanted to specifically speak to those today. When we think about this, what does women serving women and members serving members look like? Let me see if it lets me share. There we go. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing. So there's our table logo. And if you read the description on the About Us page, we talk about, the women are the colored figures around the table. And we also have men around the table because we are building a kingdom table. And that means women and men together working towards a better organization for the ones we serve in. What I wanted to scan down here a little bit about, these are the legs of the table, if you will allow me to continue with the metaphor. And mentioning, community, advocacy, restoration, and equipping. It's easy for all of us to come out onto this platform, to enter into this community and think, well, what are they offering me? And that's where I want to stop all of us from that kind of thinking. The vibrancy that we will experience together and build together is completely dependent on what you bring to the table. So if you want to think about it, the steering committee has put out one or two small offerings to get the meal started. But the bounty happens when each and every one of you brings something to the table to share with others. Now you may be thinking, I don't have anything to share. I'm new in my career. I don't have skills that are easily shareable or transferable to others. And again, I would challenge you in that thinking. We all have something that we can bring to the table. So if you're the IT guy and you have a desire to lead a group and a workshop or a session on how men can become better allies for women in the workplace on a day-to-day basis, bring it on. Bring it on. If you are the finance lady and you have a passion for spiritual formation and seeing women healed from the bad messaging they've been receiving, sometimes from their churches, that says they are less than, they are not created in God's image. Bring it on. This is the place that you get to bring those gifts to help support your sisters and our male allies, our brothers around the table. All of it is needed. And again, I say the vibrancy of this community is going to be dependent on what you bring to it. So think about that. Maybe you want to learn how to be a coach. We've got some basic coaching curriculum. We're going to run some coaching courses coming up in the next few months on how to be a better coach. And then you can create and put yourself out there with others to create coaching circles. I'm quite the fan of peer coaching and peer mentoring, rather than looking to one person as the font of all wisdom and knowledge and experience. There is wisdom of many counselors. There is wisdom in the community, and we all have something to contribute to the growth and development of each other. So keep those things in mind. We're going to be asking you in the coming months to think about what would you like to bring to the table that are gifts you already have, or what might be gifts that you want to develop. Coaching, mentoring, facilitating some course material from Development Associates International, facilitating a conversation on theology and the theological basis for women in leadership. Anything you can think of. There is space here at the table for you to bring it, and I promise you there are others who would really benefit from that. Then I also want you to think about the platform. The platform is just our community, okay? There are tools that we will continue to train and expose you to help you think about, well, how might I go about creating a peer mentoring circle, etc. So things like the group area. Right now, our platform does require an administrator to create a group for you, but there's nothing stopping you from sending us an email, info@thewelcomingtable.org. Hey, I would like to start a peer coaching circle with my group of women here in Nairobi. Can you create the group for me? Boom, we'll be back to you. We'll ask a few questions, and then you'll have a group where people can gather. We would like, all the women in the WASH field, water, sanitation, and hygiene, would love to get together in a group and share best practices. We can create a group for that. You might want to do a webinar on your own. We have temporarily turned off the function, but we'll be turning back on the function, the ability for you to create your own events. Put in your Zoom code so that other people can log on and be part of it. Schedule the date and time. And so you can be doing sessions and seminars on your own that isn't top-down driven. We really want this community to be diffused and led from many points of light around the world. And so if you have ideas, if you have things you want to bring to bear, we want to create the space for you to create them and offer them to others. We don't want this to be centralized control. Then I realize in these early stages that we're all still poking around and figuring out the platform, and that's okay. There's a mentoring function on the platform if you haven't discovered it already. Number one, you can sign yourself up to be a mentor, and it's just a matter of making yourself available. You'll note it on the profile as well as see it show up on your mentoring page when you go to mentoring. And then you can also sign up to get a mentor, and you get to pick from the people who have made themselves available. So I would encourage you to do that. And then to go over into our media center, where we've been putting very simple learning modules on Ministry of Mentoring offered by Development Associates International. I think I have something out there that I wrote, very, very basic steps and questions to ask yourself about what do I want to get from a mentor and what does it take to be a mentor? So what should I be looking for? So again, really simple stuff, but coming back to that notion that we all have something to share, and that this community is only going to thrive and flourish if women and men are thinking about coming with the intent of serving each other. So keep that in mind. Love to engage with you more on the platform and the discussion forums. Send us an email, etc. But thanks for listening. You have a great day.